610 WTVN.
Jeremy Rosenthal on the LegacyRetirementGroup.com phone line. Jeremy is our Dallas-based attorney at TexasDefenseFirm.com. You in for a Baconator-flavored Cheez-It, man?
Always. Are you kidding me? That's let's do it, man. You know what's life for if it's not for doing this? I mean, who needs a heart?
It's the mashup, the combo you didn't know you needed, dude. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't know what do you wash that down with?
Gosh, I don't know. I was listening to what y'all were saying about the scams about clicking things, and I mean, just know out there, just a PSA to everybody: the IRS doesn't use the word cops. Right, the cops are going to get you,
right.
And they don't take iTunes gift cards either. That's not a thing, at least not yet. So yeah, always measure once, measure twice, cut once.
That's it. Great advice.
Yeah,
great advice.
Yeah.
So the reason, and thank you for coming on. This is not your normal scheduled time or day, but we appreciate you jumping on with us. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this. The story, actually, I think went a little underreported. The story of Marlene Ames from here in Ohio. She sued the Ohio Department of Youth Services, where she had worked for 20 years. Not only, Jeremy, was she passed over for a promotion by a gay woman, LGBTQ woman, which, okay, people get passed over for promotions all the time. Maybe the other candidate was better, more experienced, whatever. But then to add insult to injury, not only was she passed over for the promotion by a gay person, she was then demoted. And then her old position was filled by a gay man. So she lawyered up, and she actually won her case. Got to the Supreme Court, a unanimous decision, which is pretty remarkable, a 9-0 decision. And this really sort of changes the definition and the way that we will look at discrimination in this country, I believe. Have you ever worked on a discrimination case?
I have, and actually in law school, that's kind of what I wanted to do until I found out I could get so rich doing criminal defense work. So I was put on this planet to make a big deal out of little things, and employment discrimination was kind of one of those. The interesting thing to consider here, in 1964, that's when the Civil Rights Act was passed. So anytime you hear Title VI, Title VII, I think Title IX wasn't until the early 1970s. But those are the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And when Congress enacted them, they were what is called remedial by nature, meaning that these were specifically designed to remedy segregation, to remedy Jim Crow, to remedy slavery. And Congress said, okay, courts, when you are discussing race discrimination, you shall liberally construe it to help affected parties, meaning we're gonna right the wrongs of Jim Crow and racial discrimination in this country. So when courts have not really taken a colorblind approach to this, they're not necessarily wrong. They've kind of been following what Congress has been doing. And what this turned into by the year 2025, right, 60 years later, what this turned into was, okay, I feel like I'm being discriminated against because I'm straight, and I feel like, and now I've got extra things I have to prove in court that a homosexual person doesn't have to prove. And the court basically said, okay, enough is enough. We've got to sort of start making this a little more colorblind, and we're not going to make her jump through additional hoops that we wouldn't otherwise make everybody do. So I think you're exactly right. This will level the playing field for reverse discrimination cases. You could always bring a reverse discrimination case. You just had to prove a lot more to get there.
Yeah, essentially, the courts had this legal standard. I'm just rephrasing what you said. The legal standard was that there was a higher bar for people who are heterosexual, white, or male than, females or minorities or, the people who were gay, that they didn't have as much burden of proof, if you will. So now it levels the playing field. And it's interesting that you use the term reverse discrimination. There's been a lot made of that term as well. Basically, I think that implies that discrimination can only go one way. And then if it goes the other way, it's reverse Isn't discrimination just discrimination? If you've got some immutable characteristic, whether you're to your skin color or your gender, then you can be discriminated against. But it can go both ways.
You're a lawyer in disguise. Like, immutable characteristic.
How about that?
You just quoted footnote 39 from a legal opinion back in 1972. Man, good for you.
If I didn't blow off college, I would have loved. My mom would have loved for me to be an attorney, but I'm a talk show host instead. But either way, so yeah, the notion of discrimination and reverse discrimination. I mean, it's all just discrimination, isn't it? In a lot of ways, it's redundant, isn't it? I mean, you could have ended the sentence at discrimination, because ultimately you're sort of saying the same thing, and I suppose it's just more conventional wisdom that these are typically, and again, going back to 1964 when this was passed. Back then, America was different than it was today. Have we paid for all of the sins of this country? I don't know that we ever will. And I think the court has to look at 2025, and I think they have to look at this plaintiff and decide. And the courts that led up to this ruled against her. And they were following previous precedent, and the Supreme Court, again, in 9-0 language, Ketanji Brown Jackson was the one that wrote this opinion, they made very quick work of it. The Supreme Court session is ending, so we're about to get a whole bunch of opinions. So, of course, this is one of the easy ones that they knocked out. They all agreed on it. I can't fathom that happens a whole lot. No kidding.
But it does. And I think the court agrees with exactly what you said. Discrimination is discrimination is discrimination.
Do you think this will bring on open up the floodgates now for more discrimination cases brought by straight white men who maybe felt that they couldn't before because they didn't have a fighting chance in court because of their identity, their skin color, their gender? Do you think this will open up some floodgates and set this precedent?
For the sake of lawyers everywhere, yes. Just look. The fact that gay marriage got legalized was that is a lawyer stimulus package, because now we can do gay divorce.
Right.
And right. This is extra money for lawyers. So I say, anytime we can open up the floodgates for anything, let's do it. I don't know that that's the case. I really don't. People who are going to get a few of my first jobs out of law school were doing employment discrimination, working for smaller firms. We get a ton of phone calls from people who are leading the rebel. They're the Che Guevara. Cesar Chavez. Che Guevara was a communist. Cesar Chavez was the union leader, right? The workers' rights.
Right.
Of the movie theater, and they're not giving me the right shifts, and I stood up for my coworker Cindy, and they fired me, and I want to bring a lawsuit. Well, okay, they can do that, and they should do that, because a movie theater doesn't need somebody leading the revolution. They need somebody to just shut up and sweep, okay? So people like that are going to go to the courthouse, or they're going to try. There are a lot of barriers between that type of incident and the courthouse. You have to go to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. There are a lot of tripwires. States, Texas is still extremely business friendly, and it is very hard to sue a business successfully here. There's always going to be people with a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. There's always going to be people who are upset that are going to want to run to the courthouse. It's still hard, and it still kind of takes that personality to do that. So I don't know that this is going to bring the end of the planet, as everybody likes to say. Well, you're going to open up the floodgates. I don't see that happening, but I do see some people able to seek justice rightfully so. And that's kind of what the Supreme Court said.
If you ever get in trouble in Dallas, Texas, he's your guy, Jeremy Rosenthal. You can find him at texasdefensefirm.com. I know you're a very busy guy. When's the tea time today?
Oh gosh, sometimes when we hit the courtroom hits back, and hopefully that doesn't happen today. We got court today, Mike, and if everything goes well, then I don't know, man, maybe a late tea time, maybe as late as 2.
Well, good luck today, and thanks for sharing part of your day with us. We appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy, Jeremy Rosenthal. Thanks for the time. We'll check in again soon, brother.
Take care.